day that he was incarcerated, I received a call from his mom telling me that he just got arrested. And I was just like, what? When I spoke to him and found out the reasons why, it just went all downhill from there, because I'm like, I have a 1-month-old baby and his father is just arrested and looking at 20 years. For me to just think that I would be another statistic, a single parent to a young man whose father is behind bars, it just made me feel like, wow, this can't be my life. But when you have a baby and you're raising this baby all alone, it changes drastically. You have to feed them. You have to make sure, if he wants to play, you have to play. If he wants to stay up 3 o'clock in the morning, you have to stay up 3 o'clock in the morning. You have to do all of this by yourself. You don't have anyone to give you a break while you go and do laundry. Even take out the trash. It's just little things that you took for granted before. You just never even thought that you would be in a situation like every little thing that you want to do, you have to consider this baby. Well, a newborn baby goes through at least 10 Pampers a day. A case of Pampers comes with like 80 in the back, $20 a case. You buy a case of Pampers every 8 days. It's like a financial burden that you are not prepared for, because you never know what can happen.
He was out in the streets making money illegally. I was 9 months pregnant. I got a phone call saying that he was locked up. The very next day, he wasn't released. So that's when I started to panic. I remember being in my room by myself, just crying and praying that he would come home to be there for the birth of our first child. The very first visit was me and his mom there visiting him. He picks up the phone to talk to me. His eyes just start watering, and of course I'm not used to seeing him cry. And we just sat on the phone. We sat on the phone. We didn't say nothing. We just looked at each other, and he told me not to cry because it was going to make him cry. And he told me that everything was going to be okay and he'll be home soon.
Uncle.
Monday came around, it was the due date. It just wasn't the same because he was not there. It was still something missing. I remember being in the hospital room on the bed, pushing, wanting to hold his hand, but instead I was holding the nurse's hand. And I think that it hurt me the most because I experienced the birth of our first child by myself, and it was something that I wanted us to share together. After the birth of Tori, I really didn't have time to sit and pout about it because I was just so busy dealing with her being a first-time mom. It was hard. The first visit to her doctor was hard. Me carrying the car seat, carrying the diaper bag, changing her diaper every 5 minutes, having to feed her every 5 minutes. The little things that you wouldn't even think about, like, really took a toll.
The anger, the frustration, the pain, the hurt, the resentment, all of that, it made me into the woman that I am today and the mother that I am today. And it honestly made me a stronger person because in the beginning, I couldn't imagine this situation happening to me, and let alone, just surviving it. But I did.
After this experience, I really just, as a woman, I feel like I can overcome anything. This situation really just shows that we really need the men in the world today to just step up and to take care of their responsibilities. But it also lets the world know that if you're not there, we're still going to take care of our responsibility and raise our children the best we know how.